We are officially back on the source. Thanks to my survival skills, I was able to make it out of the wilderness alive. Tonight is absolutely loaded. Great basketball tonight. A lot of money to be made. Let's stay smart. Let's run through the games.
Welcome to the source. Hey, get the source. The source. The source. Hey, get the source.
First up, we got Magic versus Celtics in Orlando. This line opened with the Magic getting 10.5 points at home here. Big home dogs. Early bets and early money pretty split even, but slightly favoring Boston. Money would eventually even out. It was pretty even to begin with, but it's almost dead even now. Consensus line goes up. We went from 10.5 up to Orlando plus 11 now. I told you a couple episodes ago, Cole Anthony, this Magic team, I'm riding with them. I think they win this game at home outright, let alone 11 points. You think we're winning this game, Cole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Orlando plus 11, definitely on the menu. If anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook next game. Next game up is Cavs, Blazers in Cleveland. This line open Cleveland plus 11. It's back-to-back huge home dogs here. Early bets and early money leaning towards the Blazers. It looked for a second like the money was going to swing back towards the Cavs, but as soon as it starts to, it goes right back to the Blazers. And the line goes up. We're looking at Cleveland plus 11.5 now. I think the Cavs blew their load last night against the Suns. They took them to overtime. They played hard the whole game. Blew their load's probably inappropriate for it, whatever. But I think Portland comes in and smacks the shit out of them. Portland needs this game. Portland's been playing great basketball, and they're coming off a loss with a day's rest. Seems like a perfect opportunity for the Blazers to blow them out. So give me the Blazers minus 11.5. But I don't love that Norman Powell's listed as questionable. I like Powell. I think he was like the perfect piece to add to that team. Overall, I didn't like that trade, but Powell does fit in nice at the 3 right next to CJ. So Powell questionable has me hesitant to throw it on the menu for now. So Portland minus 11.5, I will keep you posted. Anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook next game. Next game up is Pacers versus Kings in Indiana. This lineup with the Pacers laying 6 points at home here. Early bets and early money slightly favoring the Pacers. Just like the last game, for a second, it looks like the money's going to swing the other way back towards Sacramento, and the books respond. The line goes down to 5.5, but then it goes swinging back towards the Pacers, and the books jack it all the way up. We're looking at Indiana minus 6.5 now. Sacramento's just way too injured, man. They didn't even cover 5 points against Oklahoma City last night, and yeah, that was last night, which means they hopped on a late flight to Indianapolis. Pacers need this game at home. I mean, table set for an easy Pacers cover. I think this is easy money. I love this pick. Indiana minus 6.5. Lock it in on the menu. Anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook next game. Next game up is Rockets versus Sixers in Houston. And this line opened Houston plus 15. Holy shit. All the money, though, all the early money was on the Rockets. I think it was 96% of money on the Rockets when I checked around 5 or 6 a.m. Books respond to all that Rockets money, and the line drops all the way down to Houston plus 13, but that's when we see the Philly money start to come in. It's down at 13 now. People are waking up. They're starting to really think about this game. Philly's in the driver's seat for the 1 seed. You know, they're not going to let up. Philly should smack Houston around, even on the road. Those 2 Brooklyn losses to the Bucks, these back-to-back games, that put Philly in the driver's seat for the 1 seed of the Eastern Conference. I really seriously doubt they take this game lightly. They're well coached. They're disciplined. They're not going to take this game lightly. So I'm going to lay the 13 points. Give me Sixers minus 13. And yeah, I'm going to throw it on the menu. But VIPs, this is probably going to be towards the bottom of the menu, which means if you're only on a 3-game plan, this probably won't even be on your ticket tonight. Anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook next game. Next game up is Hawks versus Suns in Atlanta. This line opened Atlanta plus 2. They got the Hawks as home dogs here. Early bets and money definitely on Phoenix. Check this out though. This line drops from 2 down to Atlanta plus 1, even though the money stays on the Suns. Books definitely don't want you betting the Hawks on this one. The Suns are limping through the end of this road trip, man. I thought that game at Oklahoma City a couple games back was a fluke. I was dead wrong. They looked bad again in Cleveland last night. Cavs forced overtime with the Suns last night. Now here they are, back-to-back road games in Atlanta against a healthy, rested, hungry Hawks team that's also pretty hot right now, coming off a nice win against Portland. Give me the Hawks plus 1. This is a perfect time to fade the Suns. This is a really bad spot for them. Hawks plus 1 on the menu. Anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook next game. Next up, Timberwolves, Grizzlies in Minnesota. This line opened Minnesota plus 4. early money and early bets, both favoring the Grizzlies. Now check out that T-Wolves money though. That T-Wolves money is creeping in for whatever reason in the world. I don't know. The line moves up to 4.5, but then it reacts to that T-Wolves money. I think the books are predicting that more and more Minnesota money is going to come in because it drops all the way down to Minnesota +3. I think the books like the T-Wolves here. I really do. I think the books want you to bet Memphis, but I don't care. I disagree with the books. I like Memphis a lot here, right in the thick of the Western Conference playoff race, coming off a loss to the Knicks. They're going to be hungry for a win, and I really like the matchup here for Memphis. Minnesota kind of catches teams slipping a little bit. They play fast paced. They're always running, and they catch some teams off guard. That's how they're able to get these covers and wins. Memphis loves that type of game. Memphis is better at Minnesota at being Minnesota. So Memphis is not going to be caught off guard by a fast-paced game. They're going to eat it alive. Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, John Morant, these guys love to run. They're going to have no problem playing that game with Minnesota. I love Memphis here. I'm taking Memphis -3, throwing it on the menu. If anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook next game. Next game up, we got a good game here. Bucks Wizards in Milwaukee. This line opened with the Bucks laying 7. Early money and bets, both favoring the Wizards. Now check this weird shit out. This line eventually drops all the way to Milwaukee -3.5, right? Makes no sense. Yeah, there's some Wizards money in, but it's not a lot. It's not enough to drop the line 3.5 whole points. That first movement from 7 down to 6, that makes sense. This one doesn't. I think the books are up to some bullshit again. I think they know somebody's gonna sit. If I had to guess, somewhat significant, maybe not Giannis, but perhaps Middleton or Brook Lopez. In my original first glance picks that I made last night, I had Wizards +7 on the menu. I'm just gonna throw Wizards +3.5 up for this video. I picked the Wizards, but don't lock anything in. We need to see what the hell's going on here. Keep your eyes peeled on Twitter. Look for any injury updates, any breaking news. We need to find out what's going on here before we make any bets. But I do like the Wizards. I think those back-to-back game with the Nets, the Bucks might be a little sluggish, but we need to find out what's going on. Anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook next game. Next up, it is New York Knicks basketball time. Tonight we are out in Denver to play the Nuggets in one of the late games, which is a little out of the ordinary for the Knicks. They don't play many of those, but these Knicks can handle anything. This line opened Denver -3.5. Early bets and money leaning Knicks. The money in this game bounces back and forth. First it's on the Knicks, then it goes towards the Nuggets. Now it's about even. Consensus line never moves. Seems the books are pretty comfortable at Denver -3.5, and they have no intention of moving it. Denver coming off a loss, and they're back home. Who cares? These Knicks can handle anything. They can beat anybody. Take the Knicks +3.5, throw it on the menu. Anyone who's fading the Knicks right now is just taking L's left and right. Give me the Knicks +3.5 on the menu. Anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, Facebook next game. Last game is Jazz versus Spurs, and let me just tell you straight up that I will not be betting this game. This is one of those rematches, and I had the complete wrong read in the first one. I watched that game, and I was way off. So rather than just take a guess, I'm not going to bet it. The line is Utah -6.5, and the money is on the Spurs. That's it for today's episode. VIPs, check your phone and email around 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be sending the sheets out. The table is set. Let's rake in some units tonight. Remember, just because it's a good night doesn't mean we're going to make stupid plays. We're staying smart. We're picking our 5 favorite spots or our 7 favorite spots, maybe only 3. Pick your favorite spots. Play them strong and don't chase. I will talk to you on Twitter. Let's make some money.